Y'all, we are finally here. It is finally the moment. I'm nervous, but my answers are locked in. What's up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad you guys are here. You've been waiting for this video. I've been waiting to do this video, and baby, I've been pushing it off for as long as I could, simply because the decision was too hard, okay? But baby, we are here to get into our top 12 books that we read in the year of 2023. If you enjoy this kind of content, make sure that you give me a like, a thumbs up, go ahead and comment, subscribe, all of those wonderful things. Sorry, I look a little oily, child. You know, I just got home from the gig. It is literally 4 o'clock in the morning. Chicago is about to get hit with a blizzard. And I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and make this video so that we can put out some content. You guys like the hair? It's giving mullet. It's giving ooh, la la. I'm excited to get into this. We're gonna try to breeze through this as quickly as we can because there are 12 books. It is a lot, okay? Some of these we've already talked about. So the ones that we've already talked about, I'm gonna do like a quick little, you know, shoo shoo. And then the ones that we haven't talked about, I'll spend just a little bit more time on them. But these are my favorite books. I try and do a favorite book from each month. And today I have finally put them in order from 12 to 1. Or 1 to 12. 12 being the lowest. Now this book, it means a lot to me. Because this book got me excited for reading in 2023, and that is The Last Word by Taylor Adams. I always want to say Adam Taylor. I don't know why, but The Last Word by Taylor Adams. Baby, we did a makeup look on this. We talked about this book. You guys know I truly enjoyed the book. I believe that this was a 4-star for me. I can't really remember. I should have jotted down my notes. But child, it doesn't matter because this was the favorite book that I read that month. And if you haven't seen the video, if you haven't read the book for yourself, just a little quick what the book is giving. The book is basically giving a woman who is at a beach house that's kind of secluded from the world. And, you know, she's reading a lot of books and leaving a lot of negative reviews, if you will. And one of the authors is like, you know what? I've had it. And it's time to get a little payback. And so the book basically follows the story of that. There's some twists in there. It keeps you on your toes. It's kind of gaggy. And it was just a very good book to get you excited to read more books. So I definitely appreciated this book. I love this book. And this is number 12 for my favorite books of 2023. Now, baby, coming in at number 11, I do not want to butcher this author's name, but I have a feeling that I'm going to. This book we have not discussed on the channel yet. I did read this earlier in the year before I started doing the channel. And this is a really, really, really good book. It probably would be higher on the list if I read it later in the year. Or maybe it would. No, I stand by my selection. This is the 11th book that I read, the 11th best book that I read this year. And that is Honey and Spice by Paulu Babalola. I'm so sorry. But y'all can read. This book right here, baby, it gave me all the feels when I read this book. I remember it. I was just so like, oh, I want to be in college again. I want to, like, you know, have those crazy moments that you really kind of only have in college. It definitely was a romance. It was kind of like a, friend, enemy-ish turned lover. So if you like those kind of tropes, this is that type of book. I highly recommend this one. I think it goes without saying, even if these are low on the list, every one of these books is a highly, highly, highly recommended read. It was my favorite book at some point in the year 2023. This one just falls 11th on the list. Representation, of course, it matters, and we get that in this book. Just think, college girl on a mission, a man on a mission. Will their missions work together? And how can they flip this? And will they get caught up in it? It's a really good read, baby. I highly recommend it. Coming in at number 10, we did discuss this book. I have not done a makeup look on it, but I do plan on doing one just because I love the colors that are used in this cover. But this is the only memoir on the list, and that is Will by Will Smith. Or Mark Manson. I think he's the one that actually wrote this. Yeah, Mark Manson. But this book right here, this was such a good read. Maybe it's because I love Will Smith and, you know, getting his point of view and a lot of things that have happened in his life really, like, I highly recommend this book to everyone. I think that if you want to read a book about somebody who has had to make something out of nothing, this is one of the best books to do that. This book is very uplifting. It's very celebratory. It's very... I think my favorite thing about this book is the entire book, Will Smith is taking accountability for his life. And it really... you can appreciate that. No matter who you are, you can appreciate when someone is taking accountability. So give this book a read if you have not. This is number 10 for the best books of 2023. Now this one, I actually was gonna do a makeup look on this week. So I still might, because I just love the cover. The cover got it for me. This was a really, really good read. I don't think we've talked about this on the channel yet, but it is You Can Trust Me by Wendy Hurd. No, we definitely talked about this on the channel. I don't know if this was for a haul or for when I read it, a wrap up. But baby, this book right here definitely came in at number 9 for me. It was such a good book. Such a good book. And if you have a ride or die friend, this book is immediately gonna make you think of them. And if you love a strong female character, woman power, we're gonna save the day on our own, this is the book for you. It was a very fast-paced read for me, and I truly enjoyed this read. Coming in at number 8, we just discussed this book for my wrap-up of December, and that would be Riley Sager's Survive the Night. Baby, this book right here, the twists alone is really what made this one of my favorite reads for the year. Definitely my favorite read for December. If you enjoy a good stay on your toes type of thriller, this is the one. You don't want to get too comfortable at all while reading this because you never know when a shift is going to take place. And the book is, it literally says it right here, survive the night. That is what the book is about. You have got to survive the night. There is somebody, they're trying to get you, or are they? What's going on for real? What is the real tea? And you got to survive the night, girl. So can you do it? I hope so. Honestly, if I was in this situation, I would feel just like, damn, I'm tired of trying to survive the night. Can I take a nap? It's been a long night. Coming in at number 7. Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Grammas. Baby, I loved this book. I read this earlier in the year, and when I tell you immediately I was hooked, baby. It was just something about this book. I don't know if it's the fact that it gave like autobiography, but like a fictional autobiography of a character that could have been a real character in real life. So it just like 100% worked for me. But baby, I did not expect this book to be as good as it was. I did not expect this book to be what it was about. Like I said, I like to go into my books just a little bit confused and lost in life. I like to base them off the covers. I really don't read too much of the synopsis and things like that. Baby, this book right here, I went into it completely blind. And when I tell you I literally cried, I laughed. This was just an overall, oh, such a good book. I highly recommend it. And if we were doing an all-star season, this would definitely be casted in All-Stars. Because, Bonnie Garmus, you did this, baby. Lessons in Chemistry. Now, I know that apparently there is either a Hulu show or a Hulu movie. I have not looked into that yet, but I think I will give that a watch, and I will let you guys know if it does go along with the book. Let me know in the comments if you would like that I do that for like books that have been changed into movies or TV shows, basically comparing the two. Let me know if that would be a nice little, video you'd like to watch. And also, give me a like if you're enjoying the video so far, and subscribe if you haven't yet. You're just helping the channel. Thanks. I just feel like as we keep going, it just keeps getting harder and harder and harder. I agree with the decisions that were made. It's just, I want them all to be number one because they technically were number one in their month. But, this book right here, N6. This is a really good book. You kind of know what the book is gonna give based off of the title. And we've talked about this book already. It's just, for me, even though the title gives away the complete ending of the book, it's like, oh, okay, well, it's still so worth reading because it's like the extremes that the characters will go through. And that is Lisa Jewell, None of This Is True. Baby, this book right here, it taught me a lesson. You can't feel bad for everybody. You cannot look out for everybody because everybody is not always all the way there. And just because you have the best intentions doesn't mean that everybody else does. And this book right here, down. Very that. I loved it. I think that you will love it as well. It was very fast-paced. Think stalker tropes. Think true crime, if you do enjoy a good true crime. It's just this, so good. Oh, baby. The snow is starting to come down, child. I'm looking out the window and I'm like, oop, that parking lot is definitely covered. All right. Not me wanting to get a little bit emotional off of this book. But this was definitely a book that, I'm gonna reread this. I'm gonna reread this just because I'm trying to see how many pages it was. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna reread this book because the representation, that me almost getting a little emotional right here. I just want to say to this author before I announce anything, thank you. Because it's not often that we as Black, gay men, because I'm a drag queen, honey. I'm not a trans woman. More power to the trans women. I love my trans girls, and y'all better not ever play in their face around me, or else we're gonna have a problem. But I am a man, Murray. underneath all this glamour. And to have a book that represented gay black men and their friend group and the dynamic of it, and it not being they're sleeping together or want to be sleeping together, they are truly just friends and brothers. Aaron Foley, Boys Come First. Number 5, best book of 2023 that I read. I cried, I laughed, I did not want to put this book down. I ended up listening to the audio as well. This is a good ass book. This is a good ass book. And I will definitely be doing more of a review on it because I want to dive into it. I want to talk all about it. But if I can encourage you to read a good LGBTQIA. Not the hiccups are trying to ruin my video. Pause, I gotta drink some water. Bitch. It literally just took me like 15, 20 minutes to get rid of these hiccups. Go read this book. Just do it. I think that this is a book that every gay black man should have on their bookshelf. It is one of my favorites, hands down, of all times. And that's why this was the number 5th pick. I know, you're like 5 and it's one of your favorites of all times? Well, baby, that's because these next books, whew, wish me luck. All right. So here's where we shake the table up a little bit, okay? We're gonna shake the table up a little bit. I have selected this book, and this was not one of my top books. However, I did say when I was doing my recap, my wrap up, that this book should have been the number 1. However, I wasn't ready to give it that title because I thought that the other book was better. However, as I've had some time to think and ponder, this book was definitely my favorite book of that month. And so, I'm not going to dethrone the other one. However, the other one is not in this selection today. And today, in 4th place, Happiness Falls by Angie Kim. Baby, like I said, I live for a good book that has representation, has twists, keeps me on my toes. And baby, this book right here, this book came out this year too. It came out in August of 2023. Shut up for the little, I love that they put that on the back because it always helps me to know when did I get this book. But this one right here, I didn't read this until this month in December, or last month in December, I believe, or maybe it was November. Baby, I can't give this book enough praises. I think that everybody should read this book as well. This was a 5-star, hands down for me. The fact that this book just covers so much. The reason why Boys Come First was so important to me was the gay black representation of gay black men who are able to have friendships and not just be friends with someone for sex. This book, the representation of the special needs community, as well as the mixed family pot, the representation in this book was top tier. The storyline in this book was top tier. The fact that I still think about this book, top tier, okay? I look at my bookshelves, and this one sits over on that shelf. And when I look at it, I'm always just like, bitch, that was such a good book. And so if I could tell you right now, get this book, okay? Number 4 for best reads of 2023, in my opinion. Girl, that snow is coming down crazy. Like, everything is covered right now. You can't see nothing. It's gotta be at least 2 inches of snow already, that quick. Girl, they said it was gonna be a blizzard. Anyway, shall we continue? So, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to the top 3 books of 2023. This book right here. This is one of my favorite books of all time. I'm just gonna say that. Honestly, these next 3, the top 5. I think the top 5, it was safe to say the top 5 are my favorite books of all time. This book right here, I read in the month of June, and I read it the first week of June. And I cried a lot. I laughed a lot. I just felt like, oh, and this is just the perfect love story. And the ending, it's not what I expected, but I was so happy with it. And I did gift my sister's girlfriend this book for Christmas. And I would give everyone this book. Honestly, if I was rich, I would just be like, hey, you get a copy. And that is Tia Williams' 7 Days in June. Baby, when I tell you this book was so good, just like how the prior 2 books had great representation, this book was the representation of a single African-American woman who has a child and who also deals with a chronic illness. And to have those be major like factors in your story, while your story is also just like a romance. It's a lot. I'm sorry. I'm tired of having this hair right there. Okay, let me just throw it to the back shot. I need some brush. It looks a mess. But the representation. This book was just so good. It was so good. I could reread this book 1,000 times over. It literally just, I want to be cutesy and tell everybody to read this book in June. Because that's what I did. But read this book ASAP if you have not read it already. It rightfully deserves its top 3 placement. And for the longest, I thought this was going to be my number 1 book. However, there were a couple other books that snuck up on her. Get this book, 7 Days in June, Tia Williams. You won't regret it, I promise. In the top 2. This book, I wanted to give my sister for Christmas. However, it wouldn't come in time. Like, it was not gonna get there until the end of June, or January. So I got her a different book. But this one right here, it had everything that I love. Everything that I love. Actually, these next 2 books do, for the most part. But this book right here had an extra element where I wanted to make this the number 1 book. However, I couldn't make this the number 1 book because the number 1 book just, it has such a hold on me, okay? Such a hold. And so this one, just know, top 2, number 2, John Marr's The One. Baby, this book right here, oh, it was so good. This is such a good book. This is such a good book, such a good book, such a good book. Baby, y'all know I love sci-fi. Y'all know I love romance. Y'all know I love a little thriller, a little action-packed moment. And this book literally had all of the above. On top of that, I love when a book gives me multiple characters and their points of views. Every chapter in this book was a different character. Well, you have like a set of 6 characters. Maybe it was 5. And every chapter we're jumping between those characters. So, this book was so good. This book was so good. I literally want to throw this at the camera right now because this book was so good. But I can't recommend it enough. I am going to get my sister this book, I promise. But I hope that you enjoyed the book that I did get her. I ended up getting her as a silent patient. She said she likes horror too. So I said, oh, okay, well, I'll get that. But the one, oh, baby, she is the one. But on this list, she did come in second. All right, you guys. So we have made it through 11 out of our 12 books. We are now going to get into my favorite book, the #1 spot of 2023. I am so excited. I feel like if you know me, you should already know what this book is. If you have watched any of my videos, I feel like I talk about this book in almost all of them. And that is the one and only Recursion by Blake Crouch. Hands down, my favorite book. I ended up getting this book for my sister for Christmas. I hope that you are enjoying it. I know she's currently reading it. She's like, girl, this is good. This book right here, I had my mother read it, loved it. My sister's reading it, loves it, and she's only in the beginning. If you love realistic sci-fi, realistic thriller, realistic, I don't want to say too much because the thing that I think I love the most about this book is that when you read the synopsis, it is nothing like what the actual book is about. And that's why this book is my #1, because you can't talk about this book. I can talk about the rest of them and give you a little quick little what this book is about. You can't do that with this, or else you literally give it away at the beginning, because what you think you're getting is not what you're getting, baby. Go ahead and read this book. I promise you, you will not regret it. All right, you guys, that has been my top 12 books of 2023. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. This was such a good reading year for me. I had a lot of reads, and I can't wait to see what books I read this year. So far, we are only 11 days into 2024, and it's been a slow reading month for me. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I've been tired, I've been working hard, and I'm just like, I'm only on my 2nd book so far, but we are gonna get through it. And I will say, I'm excited for the books that I have lined up this year to read, and I hope that you guys enjoy them. If you do like this kind of content, I hope that you did give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, it's not too late. Go ahead and give me a like now. If you have not subscribed already, go ahead and do that for me as well. I appreciate you guys so much, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Next video is going to be our first makeup video of the year. Don't judge the makeup today. Like I said, this is makeup that I've had on my face for quite some time. And I did have a gig earlier, and I just came home from the gig, and it's currently almost 6 in the morning, and it's a blizzard in Chicago. So I am going to get out of drag and go warm me up a plate of nachos, because I made some nachos. I was gonna make some chili, but I said, oh, since we're about to have a snowstorm and it's giving very much so stay in the house bundled up, temperature's about to drop like crazy over the next couple of days. Literally, it's like 30, it's in the 30s right now, but it's gonna get down to like the single digits in like 2-3 days. I said, oh, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna make that chili then. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Sorry, I like my little curtains. Now she got stuck in there. I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget, don't just read people, read a book, bitch. I love you all, and I'll see you later. Bye.